What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Meathead Movie Review / Meathead Attempts to Read / Listen. I'm joined with my beautiful co-host Paola de Valle,
Hi, guys.
and we're going to be reviewing Project Hail Mary, both the book and the movie. And I think it's important for me to start off with the book, since that is what I looked at first, or listened to first. And I listened to it on Audible. I think you did too.
Yeah, I did too.
And I will just TLDR, good book, good listen, very good listen.
It was recommended for us to listen to it in audiobook version because apparently like the way the story was told was gonna be a lot better, and I agree. Like it was done really well. The Audible version. I don't know. There's multiple versions, but it was really well done.
Yeah, the voice actor for Audible, was it someone famous? No.
Wasn't it someone from like a Marvel movie?
No, that was The Martian.
Oh.
I don't know who the voice actor, or maybe I'm wrong. Could be the guy that voices Darkseid. Regardless, he did a spectacular job, and I listened to it at like 1.5 speed, just because like when it's at 1 time speed, it's a little too slow for me. But 1.5 speed, that was the sweet spot for me. I was able to listen to all the information, all the cool little facts that they throw in the book, and actually understand what's going on. And the voice actor did voices not just for the main character, but he also did it for like all the characters, and I think he executed it very well. And if you guys don't know what Project Hail Mary is about, I'll try my best not to spoil it, but you know what, fuck it, spoiler Evan, post-production Evan put big spoiler alert. Basically the sun is getting consumed by a space bacteria.
Yeah.
And basically that no good. No sun equals climate change in the opposite direction we're currently experiencing it. And means the planet will freeze, crops will go away, and then countries go to war, and then extinction inevitably. But so it's about this guy named, what's his name?
It was just Grace.
Something Grace.
Yeah.
I don't know his first name. They just call him Grace. Grace goes. He's a school teacher, like a middle school teacher, and for some reason they choose him. They'll give you more background on that in the book. And then they send him to space to kind of figure out what the fuck is going on and how do we stop these things. And essentially there is a star far away. I think it's like 4 years away, or maybe like 5 years away, that has the same bacteria, but it's not negatively impacting the sun's output or the star's output to those surrounding planets. So they're like, well, obviously something's going right there.
Trying to figure out why and how to extract it, I guess.
Yeah, and just figure out how to stop it, or what's so different about this star, and maybe it'll help our solar system, and that way we don't die. So they sent him on this suicide mission to go do it, and along the way he encounters an alien who is also coming from a different solar system that is experiencing the same problem, and they work together to figure out the problem, and that's pretty much the gist of it. I won't spoil how it ends if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, but that's the gist of it. And I will say, I think it's probably one of the best books I've read, or at least listened to. I don't know how the reading experience of the book is, but listening to it, my goodness, they sold it very well, and the production behind just the audio was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think for me it was definitely out of my comfort zone too, because this is a sci-fi book. Sci-fi is not usually a genre I really read, but I was just hearing so many good reviews about it, people saying that you don't even have to read sci-fi books to understand it and love it, and they're totally right. So I think for any level reader, you can fall in love with it, because they do talk a lot about science, and sometimes it is complex, but they do it in a way that doesn't seem intimidating, which is something I really loved about it. But yeah, I think for both of us, we really fell in love with it, and we would definitely want to read more of the genre as well.
Yeah. And I think part of the reason I love it is because of all those, all the science in it, and that it's accurate science. You could take information out of that book and apply it to, I don't know where you would apply it, but it's real facts. So it's really cool to see an author put in the effort to actually, fact check themselves and put accurate information in a fiction piece.
Yeah.
also with that science, it's also a very comical book, even though
Oh
the
yeah.
situation is very dire. And don't get me wrong, it gets a little more dramatic as you go on into the story, but the main character Grace he's funny, he's hilarious,
Mm.
and like I just remember laughing so many times just at the audiobook. And I think that's like the sex appeal of the book to me, is that it's funny, but it also has facts in it, and it has some things that are based in reality, but it's also fiction. So it
Mm.
combines like the best of all the worlds that in literature.
Mhm.
So the book, official Meathead score, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think that is like why it's so captivating too, because it's so easy for this book to be like very existential, because it is kind of is like, if you think about it. But the tone of the book was, yeah, like it knew like when to be deep, when to be sad, but it also knew like when to pick things up again, so you can keep moving and be like, actually enjoy what you're reading. And I think, yeah, and with that in mind and like everything else, I think I gave it like a 5 out of 5. Honestly, like I couldn't really say anything negative about it. So
The only reason I don't give it a perfect score is because I wasn't a big fan of how they wrote the ending, but we'll kind of get to that in the movie review, because I think the movie kind of redeems the ending of the book,
yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
agree.
So that's a great segue into the movie. So if you don't know, the movie is starring Ryan Gosling, and it does have a few other not huge actors and actresses, but
Hmm.
Ryan Gosling is definitely the showstopper, or like the crowd drawer.
Yeah.
But it also features like somebody like Lionel Boyce, who is like part of Odd Future Wolfgang, which is really fucking cool. I'm glad to see that he's actually making an acting career. He doesn't have a huge role, but I love seeing him in anything. Like he's a main character in The Bear. If you don't know, I can't. I think his name's Marcus in The Bear,
Yeah.
and he is like a solid fucking actor. And I wish he had more in the movie, but that would probably take away too much, because the whole story, really, even in the book, is mostly about Grace, with
Yeah.
memories or callbacks to events that then have other people involved in it.
Yeah, I don't
So
even think that character was that prevalent in the book.
I don't think so at
Carl?
all. I don't even think he was really even in it, if anything.
Yeah.
I think they added him.
It was a really nice like switch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think that is the strong point of the movie, is that it took some creative liberties, but they did it so correctly.
Hmm.
They took interpretations of the book and made them work with the book, not against the book.
Hmm.
Unlike a shitty fucking movie I saw this year called The Housemaid, where they just used the title of the book. The book
Yeah, seriously.
is phenomenal. The book is so good. It
Or
has you.
Wuthering Heights.
Oh,
Same shit.
see, yeah, I haven't seen that, and I'm not gonna. It doesn't pique
You
my
should.
interest at all. But I mean, maybe I will. It doesn't pique my interest, but you know, movies like that, they kind of just use the name to draw in a crowd,
Mhm.
and then they put in big actresses and actors and stuff like that to draw in another crowd, so they just get box office blowouts. But that's because most of the audience didn't even read the book, and it just strays so far away from the book.
Mhm.
But this movie is a prime example of sticking to the source material,
Yeah.
and not in such a boring way where you know exactly what's gonna happen at every single moment in the movie. They did it tastefully. And there are some things that you have to use your imagination in the book to imagine, like how does this planet look, how does this sun look, how does the bacteria look, how
Mhm.
does the characters look. And I think everything they showed or depicted was the best version of that. And I don't even think I could have ever imagined, like when they showed the planet where they figure out the solution, Talsetti.
Oh.
My goodness, I literally had tears in my eyes from the way they depicted it so well.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Everything was shot really beautifully.
Yeah, and on top of that, they used no green screen or blue screens apparently. So I have no clue how they did any of this other stuff. And to me, it makes it just that much better
Mhm.
that they used a lot of practical effects. And in an era where we have AI and all these things, all these tools that can help you make movies and shows and all that jazz,
Mhm.
they didn't go the lazy route. And it's a breath of fresh air in this era. Like
Oh.
it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. everything was done really beautifully. I was really being attentive to the soundtrack as well, because they were using songs like I wasn't really expecting to be in the movie, but they worked really well. Like because they were talking about like human nature, like that was like a prevalent topic, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, like the songs like are so perfect for the story that's at play. So that's something else I was like noticing. I don't know if you noticed the songs that were playing, but
I noticed a couple of them, but you know, I was visually drawn by this movie more than anything. I
for
will
sure.
say, if this movie has any weak parts, to me at least, it was soundtrack,
Mhm.
but to me, it was so irrelevant. Like, I think what counted towards or what made the story even better, or like the movie even better, was the fact that they stopped using music a lot of the time. Like, it was just pure silence, because a lot of it takes place in space, and if you know, space is a vacuum, so sound cannot travel.
Yeah.
And it was just like such surreal moments, such like hold your breath moments. And it was just like, this feels real. Like, it feels like they're actually in space right now, like not like Star Wars or some bullshit where you're hearing blasters and explosions and all sorts of bullshit. Like, there's nothing. It's just deafening silence. Like, it's just, you almost think like something's wrong with your ears, but it was done on purpose. And yeah, I think that's how it should have been filmed. And I will say, big bold statement, this is by far the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life, hands down, without a doubt. Like, it passed every movie I've ever even seen, even Chainsaw Man. I thought that movie was phenomenal. This surpassed everything, and now I have this high expectation for every single movie I see from here on out. It's just, I don't think any movie can live up to it, and I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong, because this movie was so well done.
I think speaking of the cinematography too, like the shots that were made,
Oh my gosh,
they had really cool shots that like just kept you visually interested, and just like that kind of threw you off, but it was like, wait, that actually really went well.
Yeah, like almost dizzy or disorienting at points, but it's once again, it's all on purpose. He's in space, so sometimes he looks like he's on the wall, but to him, he's just, his feet are planted and he's fine. He's doing whatever he does, and then it'll transition to a memory or a callback, and it'll also be sideways. But now hey, we're on Earth. He's the wrong way, and then it would slowly pan to the correct. Orientation. And my goodness, also, I don't know if you picked up on it, they went in between aspect ratios quite a bit. So during the callbacks was more of a cinematic, like wider screen aspect ratio.
I might have noticed that, yeah.
And then like with the black boxes on the top.
Yeah.
And then during the space scenes, it was the full screen. And we watched it in XD. Yeah. We don't have an IMAX theater here, unfortunately. We have a what do you call it? A fake Max, if you will. It's not quite really IMAX, and it is further away from us, so we opted in to see it in XD. But honestly, if I have the opportunity to travel and they do play it at an IMAX theater sometime in the future, I will probably go out of my way to go see it in IMAX.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see like the differences, for sure.
Yeah. And also, a little fact I learned was that they filmed it digitally and then printed it to film, and then re-uploaded it digitally again in order to get that warmer texture in the film.
Like that more grainy texture?
Yeah, it's they call it warmth, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But it refers to grain, I think. And my goodness,
didn't notice that. Yeah.
It was phenomenal. Like, TLDR, too long didn't watch. TLDW, go watch this movie. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And if you've heard any bad things about this movie,
I don't understand how.
Evaluate the person. If they have a short attention span, they're going to think the movie sucks. If you have a short attention span, go to TikTok. Watch stuff on TikTok. Stay there. Get out of the theater. It's not a place for you. It is a longer movie. I think it was like, what, 2.5 hours?
Something like that.
It was a bit longer, but I was there the whole time. Like, I wanted to watch that movie. There was not a single part where I was like, oh my gosh, just get this part over with. Every single part was so well executed. And I really don't think there's going to be a better movie than that, at least not this year.
Yeah, I was trying to think if it was because we had read the books that we loved it so much more because like it was so loyal to the book.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if you hadn't read the book and you watched the movie, you would still enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think like my sister said she doesn't like it. Sorry, I know you and mom watch these videos. You don't have a good taste in movies, dog. I'm so sorry. She said it wasn't keeping her captivated.
Yeah.
You know what? To each their own. It's not for everybody, but I would say it's for a vast majority of the population. I think a lot of people can watch it and love it.
I think it's been overwhelmingly good.
Yeah. I have yet to hear negatives except for my sister, but I had a friend reach out to me and tell me that he's heard mixed reviews.
Yeah.
And so that means like, to me, that sounds like 50-50. And if I was a betting man, I would bet that the people that said it was bad were probably on their phone or probably have a short attention span or probably aren't intelligent. Like, and that's, I'm a meathead. I'm not that intelligent, but I can at least sit down through a movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this whole meathead movie reviews is about. It's showing you like, well, are these movies even worth sitting down through?
Yeah.
And because some movies you sit down through and some movies you actually just enjoy. Yeah. And there was not a single moment I did not enjoy this movie. I think, once again, this will be probably the only 10 out of 10 for movies I ever give. Yeah. Every movie is like scrutinized like a 9.9, like, or at least really close. This is a perfect 10 out of 10.
But there was also a part during the movie that like Evan and I both had to go use the restroom.
Oh,
we had
yeah.
to pee so bad. But we were like, oh my God, we don't want to miss the movie. So like one of us had to like go really fast and then wait for the others to come back. And then we were like, okay, we'll go.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't miss like any details, So I feel like that tells you something.
So I guess we'll just have to go watch it again.
Yeah, I guess so.
And for me, my goodness, as soon as that movie comes available for me to buy, I'm not renting that shit. I'm buying that movie.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah, like that is a movie I will show to my kids. And I'll obviously have them read the book or at least listen to the audiobook. And, this is a message to everybody who sat through this video. Start reading. It's not that bad. She's a booker. She's a natural reader over here. And she tells me the audiobooks count. I think they count too.
For sure they do. Oh my God, no. If you argue like opposed to that, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Like audiobooks are reading as well.
Yeah. So even if you don't think you have the time to sit down and read a book, you're in your car listening to music, just fucking put on an audiobook. It's like one of the best decisions I've made. I opt in to listen to audiobooks rather than listen to music.
Especially if you have like a busy lifestyle and you make the excuse that you don't have time to like do stuff like or to read or to pick up a book. Like we have busy lifestyles too, but we make the time like with our audiobooks, and I think they totally fit in, They help. And
they're well worth it in my opinion. Like just this month alone, and I'm very proud of this, I've listened to The Martian, Project Hail Mary, The Martian, and I also just finished the first Hunger Games. Yeah. And it takes no brain effort, really. You just got to listen. That's all you're doing. You can still keep your eyes on the road if you want.
If you want.
Optional. Not optional. But I think everybody should start reading. I see no issue with it. I think it's a net benefit, if anything. And you don't have to go buy books. Sometimes they do get a little expensive. But I did say my goal for this year was to read one physical book, like actually sit down and flip through pages and stuff like that. It's to read one physical book. And I think that's going to be an ongoing goal. Every year I will do that. But my minimum is to listen or to read, whatever, total of 12 books a year. And I think I'm already at fucking 8.
Yeah, no, that's really impressive.
So, and like, come on. Guys, I can fucking do it. So if I can fucking do it, you guys can do it.
Exactly.
And I think we've yapped long enough. Any final comments or anything?
I don't think I said the score for the movie, but it was also like a 5 out of 5, obviously, for me. But that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed, let me, like, comment, subscribe. If you watched the movie, you read the book, let me know your thoughts. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe you thought both were horrible. I don't care. Let me know down below. And yeah, as always, be safe.